There's no sun out. Take sunglasses.
The sunglasses on. You can't keep your eyes open right now.
Hi, welcome to Dock Talk. We're out here on Lake Dunlap. We've got the whole band together, the Guadalupe Lakes Crew here. So today I wanted to talk about valuating a lake house. What criteria do you use to valuate a lake house?
Well, when I'm looking at a lake house to do like a CMA for a seller, I'm always taking into the factors that, of course, matter the most. Waterfront footage, boathouse improvements, retaining walls, bulkheads. But then we get into the square footage of the house, the quality of the house, and design, layout, functionality, all of that, bedroom, bathroom count. So it's all factored into my CMA. So I break it down kind of like an appraiser would, since I am an appraiser, but I break it down so that the sellers can see my logic of how I come up with my adjustments and then why I came up to the listing price that I'm suggesting.
Yeah, I think something that's important when it comes to that, not just talking about the linear frontage, but where are we? So Hunter always says location, location, location. Now, there are some spots on the lake that are going to be more valuable than others, like we all talk about on McQueenie, where you could go from being at now $5,000 a linear foot to being at $15,000 a linear foot. So now where that footage is going to be super critical in coming up with what the right value for that property should be.
And the lake matters. Which lake are you on? Because you could see a $200,000-$300,000 swing between lakes. Just saying, if you had the identical home on this lake and then that lake, there could be a $300,000 swing.
And to the untrained eye, if you're online looking at Google Maps, all you see is Guadalupe River from New Braunfels to Seguin, and a lot of people don't understand. We have 5 lakes, but 3 big lakes.
Right.
And so, if you don't know where you are, not working with somebody that knows what they're doing out here, you could end up on Lake Placid thinking you're buying a house because the address says McQueenie.
Yeah, because there's McQueenie addresses on Lake Placid, which actually confuses listing agents sometimes. They'll put it on the wrong lake. They don't know the waterfront, know the lakes.
Make sure you're working with somebody that knows their lake.
Well, another point too is that F word that we don't like to say, flood. Yeah. You can have a 2,500 square foot house that's flooded in multiple different flood events, and then next door you have one that's elevated that's 2,500 square foot, and they're both very nice. One's forcibly been remodeled. One's built more, I guess, recently or brought up to code. But that you pay a premium for the lack of risk for flood, and vice versa. You get a discount for a higher risk. So that's I've seen huge swings, like double the price for a similar house on a similar lot that has less risk. So all different factors to consider. But one thing I was wanting to ask, is there a difference? I mean, you deal only with buyers and you deal only with sellers. Can y'all see a difference between, criteria that you use?
I don't think so. I mean, more often than not, I'll call Frank or Frank will call me, and we'll just start laughing because we'll say, we have the exact same number.
Right.
Now, we're not always deriving it in the exact same line items, but
You're doing a great job. You're just...
Thank you.
I approve.
Well, it all goes to show the importance of actually pricing correctly. Because in this market, especially, if you overprice, you're going to end up selling below market value. Everybody's seen those houses, whether it's on the water or in your neighborhood in Houston, that's overpriced and then does these slow price reductions and finally gets it to a sellable price. But now it's been on the market for a year and no buyer wants to buy it because, something's wrong with it. Nobody else will buy it. Why would I buy it? So it takes a reduction below market value to actually move the property.
Right.
And that's the number one reason we lose listings, is because sellers a lot of times go with the person who tells them the highest number.
You made a good point about the flooding, because when I am doing my CMAs, you could have a 1,500 square foot house that's on the ground, 15 elevated, and the insurance could be a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 swing.
Yeah.
And buyers take that into consideration because that's a monthly payment they're having to make, and so we have to make that adjustment on when we're listing it, that we take that factor into consideration because it's not going to sell at the same price that the elevated one possibly could.
I'll typically take that, and if I know a flood insurance policy is, it's $1,500 for the house that's up on stilts, or it's $6,000 for one that's sitting on the ground that's flooded 4 times, take that difference, run it out 10 years, you have to figure that's maybe an average that somebody would hold the property, maybe a little bit less, but there's an almost automatic adjustment just for that. But yeah, even on top of that, I mean, by the time you look at what your mortgage is going to cost you, if I'm going to pay $5,000 more, so whether that breaks out to monthly, I can go get how much more house?
Exactly.
Yeah. When I was in production, I had a buyer wanting to look at this house on Placid at the time, and it was listed at $500,000. And I said, let's go look at the one across the lake that's at $700,000. And he goes, no, I can't spend that much. Well, it's the same price as this one. He goes, no, it's not. It's $200,000 difference.
Yeah.
Well, the flood insurance policy for the $500,000 one was $10,000 a year at the time. And then I said, well, you're going to be paying the same amount. And we broke down the numbers, and sure enough, and he couldn't afford the $500,000 because now it was equivalent to a $700,000, but it saved everybody time.
Right. In 3 years, he would have recouped that $200K.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So the point we're trying to get at is make sure you're talking to a knowledgeable waterfront agent because, I mean, pricing is so important. Reach out to the Lakefront Group if you're looking to buy or sell, and have a wonderful day.